Uh, we'll begin with the morning puja, which we've done every morning, just to link all the sessions together, you know, with a theme. Morning puja. This human birth is precious, an opportunity to awaken. But this body is impermanent. Ready or not, one day I shall die. So this life I must know as the tiny splash of a raindrop, a thing of beauty that disappears even as it comes into being. The karma I create shapes the course of my life. But however I act, life always has difficulties. No one can control it all. Only the Dharma can free me and others from suffering forever. Therefore, I recall my heart's longing for freedom and resolve to make use of every day and night to realize it. May all beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the great happiness that devoid of suffering. May they dwell in the great equanimity, free from craving, aversion, and delusion. So before we meditate today, I just want to give a little talk, actually. So just get into a, relax, don't get into your posture. So just going over what we've done so far in these morning sessions. The first thing that we did on Sunday was kind of, the title was called Reassurance and the Tangible. So it's like we're kind of looking at how the body, if you just leave it alone, will kind of support your mind and emotions in whatever state that they're in. So you can get a sense of reassurance from your tangible experience. And then yesterday, I introduced the idea of the blue sky as the nature of things. So there's the world as it is, the world of phenomena, and then that is of the nature of the blue sky. So things appear in the blue sky, independent on conditions, and disappear back into the blue sky when those conditions are not there. So this morning, the topic is something called Perpetual Self-Transcendence. So we talk a lot about insight in Buddhism, and kind of link that up with seeing into the nature of things, seeing the impermanent nature of things. But I think there's more to insight than that. So basically, when we think of the blue sky, we think of if the blue sky just represents the nature of things. Things appear in the blue sky, positive things appear in the blue sky, or negative things appear in the blue sky. So skillful mental states appear in the blue sky, when we create them. But then because everything is impermanent, those positive mental states, actions, generosity, then disappear. They don't last, So in a way, I think what the Buddha is doing is he realizes fully that things disappear. Even all the good that he can bring into the world will disappear. But he's not fazed by that. He just knows that this is how things are. And keeps bringing the positive things into being. I'm not going to burden you with much more than that. So we'll start off with some body work. So if you want to stand up, we'll wake ourselves up a little bit. So let's begin by just rub your hands together. Backs of your hands. Give your face a bit of a wash with your hands. So drumming on the top of your head. Take some deeper breaths. And just put your forehead in the palms of your hands and just hold your head. It's like covering your eyes, just turning away from the world. So you're turning towards yourself. You're going to be looking after yourself, looking after your body. Trying to work with your states of mind so that you can get into happier states of mind. And just enjoying the touch of your hands on your forehead, contact of your body with the ground. Enjoy your breath on your wrists. And then just try and get onto the top of your back with the top of your spine. Wake it up. The other side. Onto your chest. Get into your collarbone. Down your sides. And then down your arm, left arm. To the back of your hand, make it a little bit painful. Palm of your hand. On the other side. And then just circling on your stomach. Trying to enter into relationship with the sensations in your body. Everything that you can feel, where your clothing's touching your skin, the air's touching your skin. Notice if you're feeling any different to how you did 5 minutes ago. We're doing this. And then just drumming on your kidneys at the back. And onto your buttocks and backs of your legs. Get down your legs as far as you can go. And shake everything out. Then just put your hands on your stomach. Just wait for your breath to calm down a little bit. And then when you notice that you're breathing out, bending your knees. And when you're breathing in, straighten your knees. If your mind's busy, just put it onto, imagine just put it on the other side of the room or something while you do this physical action. Out the front, so bringing them up to your chin on the in-breath, turning the chin down on the out-breath, turning at the hips up and on the in-breath, and down on the out-breath, coming up on the in-breath, and down on the out-breath. Then next time, just keep going past your chin into the air, out to the sides, and down. Then they're going up the middle. Last one. And then take a seat for meditation. So getting used to this new position that your body's in. So we're going to do the Metta Bhavana this morning. Maybe at the beginning of the meditation, just having a sense that you can't really predict how it's going to go. It's like you don't know really. Just be open to different experience, open to something magical happening. So being aware of the world outside, the world of sensations. Light on your eyelids, sounds. Imagine that all of that is just coming in and impacting on the sense organ, just turning into electricity and moving down your nerves into your brain. So you're just receiving the world into a soft awareness. It's not like you're trying to fight the world off or just let the world be there. Receiving it in a soft attitude. Having a soft attitude towards your body, so your body's quite happy just sitting there. It knows how to sit down. Just leaving it alone. And just balancing your spine so that your weight goes down into the ground, into the seat you're sitting on. Having a kindly attitude towards your body, your experience. And then tuning into how you feel this morning. And however you feel, just allowing that. If you feel a bit grumpy or something, it's okay, just allow that. Just having a sense that behind it all, behind everything, we do really care what happens to ourselves and to others. If we can clear the space for that. We can see how we really want to be well, to not suffer. So just finding a way of getting behind yourself, getting behind your own life. You might imagine that you stood behind yourself, and you're kind of pushing yourself from behind in the direction of happiness, that, you know, that this is what you really want to happen, and you're going to make some effort in that direction to make yourself go in that direction. It's like trying to sort of encourage yourself to be more interested in your life. Just trying to have a fuller sense of yourself, all your hopes and fears. Be imagining a time when things were going really well for you. Just tuning into the kind of the full richness of that experience. And even though it might not be happening right now, it's, you know, it can be just important to have some faith that things can change. You know, things can come into being in dependence on conditions if we bring those conditions about. Gently encouraging yourself, kindly, gently, towards a happier state. And if other thoughts come up like, oh, this is rubbish, I can't, it's not possible, don't give those any attention, don't feed them. Just keep gently urging yourself in the direction of well-being, fulfillment, meaningfulness. If there's any tension in your experience, just breathe into that tension, softening that tension with your breath. Just allowing your heart to open, to warm up. To become gentle. Like a flower. Just taking one moment at a time. one breath at a time. Not judging yourself. Not treating yourself like a thing. If you think that you're a thing, you have no reason to care for yourself. If you think that you're a human being, it's natural that you would care for yourself. So just gently guiding yourself towards your vision, some sort of vision for yourself as flourishing, as happy. Whenever doubts come back in, just recognize them as not leading anywhere. Just gently encouraging yourself back into a sense of care for yourself. Preserving this sense of gentleness. Just picking a good friend. Don't spend too long doing that. Just anybody. Just directing this well-wishing, this encouragement, this care now in the direction of your good friend. Having a gentle approach towards your good friend. So what you're now trying to be interested in is their welfare, their experience, their life. Supporting them in their goals. But, trying to avoid any sense of straining or forcing. Trying to make something happen. Instead, just looking for the conditions whereby something does happen. So, when you have what idea, do you feel more care for your friend? So maybe if you're tuning into them and their life and their hopes and fears, you're getting close to them, trying to stay there with them. Under all circumstances, this might be a condition for you caring for them a bit more. Maybe our friend sometimes is a bit of an object of pleasure for us. And usefulness, they're often useful, aren't they, our friends? Maybe if we are thinking of them a little bit like along those lines, like an object of pleasure, can you shift that view to be a bit more about that, seeing things from their perspective? Just tuning into all their hopes and fears. Being there together with them in their experience. And just gently guiding them towards happiness. Wanting them to be doing well. And just bearing in mind that loving kindness can be of infinite intensity, like any emotion. We can want something a little bit, or we can want it a lot. So just really try to get behind our friend in their life. Try to make that interest more and more passionate. Again, not forcing anything, not doing anything artificial here. But just asking yourself, what do you need to do to become more passionately behind your friend and their experience? So maybe take a few deeper breaths, just have a pause. And then bring to mind somebody that you just see around in the supermarket or on the, nobody's on buses anymore, are they? So a neutral person. I'm just trying to have the same attitude towards, same gentle attitude towards the neutral person that you've had towards yourself and your friend, if that worked for you. Notice if you're thinking of the neutral person like a thing. It's unlikely that you will want to care for them if you think of them as a thing. So it's trying to tune into the actual humanity. But again, doing this not in a forceful way, but in a gentle way, a way that just works, where some actual care is developed. Maybe we can just imagine being with this person and just trying to be supportive. Don't worry if you just drift off or lose the plot. It's important just the fact that you're making some sort of effort to develop care for a range of people. You feel good about yourself, the fact that you are doing that. Now, we're in the final stage. We're just going to bring to mind the three people that we've used. and recognizing that none of us are things. All three of us are people that experience a whole range of emotions, happiness, sadness, difficulty, achievement, frustration, boredom. Just trying to be interested in the experience of all three. Just wanting it to be the best experience that it can be. Again, not forcing, not doing it artificially. Bearing in mind the common humanity. Just letting that naturally turn into a sense of care for all three. And then expanding that care outwards into the world. In all directions. As that care, it meets different beings out there in the world, it just turns into a kind of interest, a connection, an investment. Just really wanting all beings to be well. We might not have any power over that. Over what happens. But we do have power over how interested we are. Again, just avoid just forcing or doing it artificially. So having a sense of naturalness and ease. Tuning into the natural world. All the animals and birds and fish out there. Wishing them all well. in your own time, just bringing this meditation to a close. So if you want to just quietly leave, if you feel like just leaving, it's fine. If you want to stay for a bit of a discussion, that's fine as well. Okay, so has anyone got anything they want to say or ask? You don't have to. I didn't really cover the topic actually of perpetual self-transcendence. I talked about it a little bit at the beginning, but anyway, I thought it might be a bit too much.
Hello.
Hi, Andy.
Hello. First of all, I'd just like to say thank you very much. It's been absolutely beautiful these mornings. It's been amazing. And secondly, I'm really interested in the relationship between the blue sky world and the material world, between material reality and absolute reality light. And yesterday, somebody said climate change might not be actually happening. We might be taking it a bit seriously. And I thought, well, COVID might not be happening, and why are we bothering with all these injections then? But I do think it is a very serious point, is how do you balance and connect the two worlds? You know, I'm a climate change activist, and I take and I love green Tara, reaching out into the world. But I do think it's important not to lose perspective. So, you know, the question I'm interested in asking you is, how do you balance the relationship between the transcendent world, the blue sky world, and going after spiritual goodness, if you like, and leading a good life, and doing good in the material world without getting too wrapped up in it? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, yeah, I can talk around it a bit. Yeah. Well, I think what the blue sky represents, it's the Buddha's view of things, you know. So it's the Buddha's view of things is that things arise in dependence on conditions, and that includes everything, you know. So material world, our kind of mental states, you know, our views about things, all arise in dependence on conditions. So the point is to make those conditions conduce to happiness, to conduce to nirvana, conduce to the general good, you know. Yeah. So I think you could just see the blue sky as representing that, you know. So you got the material world over here, the world that we experience, phenomena and all that, you know. But it's just important to remember that it has this nature to it, you know. there's a pattern to things, which is this kind of conditionality, or it's got an ethical shape to it. You know, life has an ethical shape to it. So it's a bit like the wisdom is about sort of doing what is actually going to be a benefit to everybody. So you want to bring a wise perspective into your climate change debate, you know, and sometimes it's like certain things are outside of our control. So the Buddha's view is that, you know, you kind of need to like accept things that you can't change, you know, but you do need to try and change the things that you can change. So it's a bit like, there's a lot of like misinformation going on all over the place these days, and it can be quite frustrating, you know, because it seems like people who are quite senior and kind of wise professors and stuff and not really getting listened to in certain, you know. I just think it's a dumbing down of everything, you know, and that worries me, right? Because I think what we need is intelligence brought to this situation.
Yeah.
But then I have no control over this happening, you know. It's like the world is just doing its thing, you know, and there's a lot of ignorance in the world. So, you know, in a way, I can just do what I can do in my sphere of influence, you know. So but we need to not get despairing about things, you know. That doesn't help either, you know. So one of the things that I wanted to explore a bit today was this idea of, and I said a bit at the beginning, was just perpetual self-transcendence. So you bring positive things into the world, you know. So, you know, I might make the effort to like get up this morning, do this session, you know, help people with their mental states and stuff, you know, and it might have been successful to a degree. And then what happens is life works on it and dissolves it, you know. So the effects that I've created this morning will evaporate, you know. So what do? You know, when you've done something positive and then it evaporates, do you get depressed about that? The fact it's gone away again, you know? Well, no, you don't. You know, not from a Buddhist point of view. You keep bringing it back again. You bring something back again and so you know that things dissolve and fall apart. But the Buddha is completely at ease with that. He knows that this is the case, so he just keeps bringing positive things into the world. So he's teaching everywhere, and he's spreading compassion and all that, and in the full knowledge that it all dissolves, you know. So I think this is more what insight is, you know, than just seeing that things are impermanent. It's seeing things are impermanent in the higher Zhang. So seeing things that are impermanent in the context of really wanting to bring positive things into the world, you know, for yourself and others.
Oh, thank you. That's a really lovely answer. Thanks a lot. And I love the way you said the Buddha wasn't fazed by stuff. I thought that was just beautiful.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Shows like that.
It's a really lovely answer. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you. Liz.
Yes, hello. And again, thanks for leading these lovely mornings. I loved what you said. You know, like every time you hear somebody talk, they sort of come at it slightly differently from everybody else. You know, that's the joy of it, isn't it? And one thing you said was that the Buddha just kept on bringing it again and again. And when you said that, excuse me, haven't spoken yet this morning. It made me realize one of the things I do is I can do so much, and then I've got this sort of internal thing that says, well, it's somebody else's turn now, you know. I want to pull back and look at somebody else doing it or something.
Yeah.
And it's just really good to notice it. You know, I think, oh, that's, you know, the Buddha didn't do, the Buddha had done that, where would we be? You know, it's sort of like, actually, regardless of what anyone else is doing, we've got to just tune into ourselves and what we can bring.
Yeah.
So that was really, really helpful.
Yeah.